that can do that and reads that recipe, they will do well. It's not even a question anymore of whether they'll do well or not. It's actually just the question of, will they follow the recipe? Because I know that if they'll follow that recipe, then we have a chance. We have a chance here. We have a chance of someone doing well. The only other thing we really run into, aside from the recipe, is that I don't have anyone showing up to class to bake the cake, to bake the pie, to do the deal. I don't have anybody showing up to do that. They're not there enough to even learn how to make the cake. They're not there to understand that, hey man, like when that cake starts rising, you know, maybe you preheated the oven too soon, or you didn't let the oven preheat too much, and then we overcooked it, and then the overcooking of this particular dish totally ruined it. Or maybe, you know, when you get good enough, you can say, well, I'll leave it in there for an extra 5 minutes, and I actually like it being a little more crunchy. That could be the situation, but if you're never there, then you're never gonna even know that. So there's those two things that have to be in place. One, you gotta be there, which if that's not the problem, then it's like, okay, while you're there, what's taking place? What is happening while I'm there? Why can one person do the job that I do in 5 hours when I'm spending 12 doing it? I'm spending 12 hours in the building. What are you doing with your time? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your time? Like, what result did you obtain? What's making you money? You've really got to ask yourself that. Let's be real for a second. You've got people, they exist. They're doing the same job you're doing, getting triple the results. And this message isn't geared at one person. This message is geared to several people that I can think of. And look, if you don't like what I'm saying right now, man, like, why are you taking it out on me? You know, take a look and look at, like, hey, if I was spending 12 hours in the office and somebody was spending 5 and they were doing the same result, they were getting the same result, I would want to know, like, how can I shorten that cycle? How can I lessen that time? That's the question that has to be asked. How can I do that? Like, someone's doing it. Why can't it be me? Why? Otherwise, like, why? Go do something else, like, with that extra time, like, that you want to do. If you're there for 12 hours, you should be doing 2,000 or 3,000 AP a day. If someone can do that in 5 hours, figure out what they're doing. And I'll tell you right now, they're doing something similar every time. If they're getting consistent results, they're doing something repeatedly, over and over and over and over again. And that's the part about this that no one wants to talk about, because it's not attractive, and it's not like, oh my gosh, I love that. The cool thing about construction, when people are building homes, they're doing a lot of the same things over and over again, but at least they're like, well, I kind of like this house. It's different than the last one I built. But they put the trim on the same way. They hang the door the same way. They run into little tiny challenges here and there, which makes the job interesting. Like, this door's a little wider than that door, and how am I going to fit this door into this house? And, you know, how am I going to fit this window? It's a little too tight. We didn't cut it right. Or, you know, but it's a lot of the same actions over and over again. And that's how it is with these people. There's a lot of the same actions. You got to get somebody on the phone. You got to do a deal every day over and over again. But maybe the person you talk to is a little bit different. Maybe the bank they use is a little bit different. And that's what makes it enough interest to keep going. But the end result's still the same.